Hello everyone, welcome to Boxing Fundamentals 1. My name is Juri, I'm a boxing coach here at Everybody. The class today is going to cover how to hold a proper fighting stance, going through the first 4 basic punches in boxing, and how we move in our stance. So, first and foremost, let's get started with a good warm-up. We want to make sure all our muscles are loose and we're good and relaxed. And we're going to start with some hip turns. So basically we're just going to put our fists onto the sides of our hips and we're just going to slowly make large circles in one direction, making sure that we feel the stretch at every part of the circle that we're doing. We're going to do that 3 times. And we're going to go in the other direction now. All right, well done. All right, we're going to start with loosening up our arms. So what we're going to do is we're going to be swinging our arms vertically like this. We're going to try to get a nice stretch in our shoulders, our pecs, feeling it right at the top. All right, now we're going to go sideways. So we're going to stretch our arms out and we're going to go cross them over each other and we're going to switch at each turn. So like this. Do that for another 10 seconds. Well done. All right, now we're going to work on our legs. We're basically just going to have our hands on our knees and we're going to push into our knees like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do this for about 20 seconds. Feel that stretch as you're pushing into your knees and coming down, sitting into your squat. All right, and we're going to finish with 30 seconds of jumping jacks. Ready, go. Make sure you fully extend your arms out. Ten more seconds. All right, well done. We're going to do another exercise called the pendulum step. And this is really good in setting up our boxing movement. Essentially what we're going to do, I'm going to show you a side view, is we're going to have one foot in front of another. If you're right-handed, have your left foot in front. If you're left-handed, have your right foot in front. And we're just going to simply bounce on both feet. And notice how as I'm bouncing, I'm shifting my weight onto my front foot and onto my back foot. This is an essential movement we have in boxing, and this is something that we want to get very comfortable doing. So we're going to hold this for about 30 seconds now, and we're just going to be bouncing. Don't worry too much about what your hands are doing. Have them nice, comfortable next to your side, and just keep bouncing. I'm going to turn towards the camera. Try to be on the balls of your feet as you're bouncing. We'll do 10 more seconds. All right, well done. So that's our warm-up. Let's talk about how we hold a fighting stance. Basically, what I want us to do is we're going to imagine a line coming right in between our feet. So we'll have our feet at about shoulder length apart. If you are right-handed, what you're going to do is on that imaginary line, you're going to take your left foot and you're going to place your front toe on that line. And you're going to be basically pointing at 45 degrees from that line. So if there's a line coming straight down, I'm placing my toe on that line, pointing it about 45 degrees to the right. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my back heel and I'm going to place it down on that same line. So if I was to kind of trace a line through my feet, my front toe and my back heel should be on that same plane. If you're left-handed, it's the exact opposite. So I'm gonna work from an orthodox stance because I am right-handed. We're gonna have a slight bend in our knees so that we're nice and athletic. We wanna make sure that we can't be moved around very easily. So this is how we set up our base in our stance. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna raise both our hands up to the sky, and we're gonna drop our elbows down until our hand is at our elbows, or our eyebrows, excuse me, until our hands are at our eyebrows. I call this the salute. And what we're gonna do from our salute is we're going to move our front shoulder a couple inches forward. So in this case, that would be my left shoulder, and I'm gonna move it about 2 inches forward. And I'm bringing my hand with me, and that is our boxing stance right there when you close your fists. Okay, one thing I want you to notice, if you do have a mirror in front of you, which is extremely useful in any boxing class, is making sure that you see a picture that you're creating in your stance. So for example, notice when I'm square to you and I have my shoulders wide, notice how much room there is for you to get punched. This is a very large picture. This is something that we want to avoid in boxing. So the reason we turn our shoulders and our hips off to the side is to create a smaller image for us to get punched at. So when you're looking in the mirror, do you see a big picture or do you see a small picture for an opponent to potentially hit you? Obviously, you want to strive for a smaller picture. So this is our stance. Let's try that one more time. Let's go in to just standing normally. We're gonna find that line again. We're gonna place our front toe on that line it up with our back heel, raise our hands up to the sky. We're gonna go into our salute, and we're going to bring our front shoulder 2 inches forward, and that's our boxing stance. All right, well done. So in our boxing stance, what are we going to do? We're gonna first talk about the most essential punch we have in boxing, which is the jab. The jab is the punch we throw with our lead hand, so the hand closest to your opponent, and it's a simple straight punch like this. So I'll give you a few angles. All right, I call the jab an A to B punch. Why do I call it an A to B punch? Because we go from two places. We go from A, and then we go to B, and we go straight back to A after we throw that punch. We don't have any detours, pit stops on that punch. We're not visiting different stations as we're coming out and back in. We're going straight out and we're coming straight back in. So let's give this a try. We're gonna be in our fighting stance again. Okay, I'm gonna say jab and we're gonna jab together. Ready? Jab, 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 right out and right back. Jab, jab. Now notice that I'm exhaling. Breathing is extremely important when we punch. Similar to when you're lifting a weight, we want to time the exhale at the point of resistance, which in boxing is the punch. So jab again. Jab. 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 Excellent, well done. Take a few seconds to catch your breath. Have a sip of water. All right, so the next punch we're gonna go over is the straight. The straight punch is the punch that comes from our rear hand in our stance. And the way I like to teach this is actually not even thinking about our hands. We're gonna start thinking about our feet and our hips. So, in our stance, just with the lower half, making sure that we have our feet in the right place, we're gonna practice turning our hips. And the way this is gonna go is we're going to imagine opening up our pelvis and hips towards our opponent like so. Okay, we're gonna do that again. So we're gonna open up our pelvis and hips to our opponent like so. Now notice at the end of my turn on my hips, my weight is essentially on my front foot at the end of the turn. So I'm turning, and you can check this actually by lifting your back foot. You should be able to lift your back foot and feel pretty comfortable there. So again, in our stance, turning our hips to our opponent. This hip turn is extremely important, and we time this now with a punch. So what happens is we're gonna do that same turn, but as we turn our body, we're gonna extend our right arm together like this. Again, I'm gonna turn my hips and extend my right hand out. Okay, one thing I want you to notice with my wrist is at the end of my punches, this is also true for the jab, is I'm turning my wrist over, and one way you can imagine is if you're holding a pitcher of water, you're pouring that pitcher onto the floor at the end of your punch. So when I turn my hips, I turn my wrists, and I come back to home position. Again, we want to minimize the amount of things we're doing in between punches. Really, it's an A to B punch, and right back. Right back. We call the rear hand shot the 2, so when I call 2, we'll be doing that together. All right, let's try practicing. So, get in your fighting stance. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. Think about that hip turn. 2. Making sure your hips are coordinated with your hands. 2. 2. 2. 2. All right, we're gonna combine those with 1. So if I didn't get a chance to explain, the 1 is our jab. So if I say 1, that is the jab. 2 is our right hand. So in our stances now, 1. 1. 2. 2. 1. 1. 2. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Excellent. Take a break. So we've covered how to hold a stance. We've covered the first 2 straight punches we have in boxing, which is the jab and the right hand. Let's now talk about how we move in our stance. Boxing is not a static sport. If you're ever in a situation where you're sparring, or even in a real life scenario, your opponent is not going to be standing there asking to be hit. Most often than not, they'll be moving around, so we need to know how to move ourselves. So, in our stance, let's talk about how we move. Moving forward, it's a very simple process. We start with the foot closest to the direction we want to step towards, and we're going to step with that foot. All right, there's the first step. The second step is bringing our rear foot to recover and have the same distance we started off with. Like that. I'm going to give you a few angles. So if I'm stepping forward, left foot first, right foot recovers. Left foot first, right foot recovers. Okay, so I don't have a lot of space to work with, but we're gonna do this together. In our stance, I'm gonna say step forward, and we're gonna step forward together. Step forward, step forward, step forward. And I'll step back again. Step forward, step forward, step forward. Excellent. So, how do we step back? Same principle. We're gonna start with our rear foot to lead the direction, and then the opposite foot is gonna recover our position. So, if I'm stepping back foot goes first, front foot recovers. Back foot first, front foot recovers. Back foot first, front foot recovers. Back foot first, front foot recovers. So, in our stance again, let's move around. Step forward, step forward, step back, step back. Make sure your hands are at home. Make sure they're next to your face and protecting your face. Step forward, step forward, step back, step back, step forward, step forward, step back, step back. All right, so front and back, let's go side to side. If I'm stepping to my right, again, foot closest to that direction, I'll be using my right foot first. So I'll be stepping to the right, recovering with my left. Stepping to the right, recovering with my left. Same thing with the left. Left foot first. Stepping to the left, recovering with my right. Step left, recover right. Okay? Let's get into our stance. We're going to move in a variety of directions. Listen to my command. So in your stance, step forward, step forward, step back, step back, step right, step right, step left, step left, step forward, step back, step right, step left, step left, step left, step right, step right, step forward, step forward, step back, step back, step forward, step right, step right, step to the left, step forward. Excellent. So one note I just want to make about the stepping is making sure that we're having the same distance in our stance. So when you find your stance, notice how far your feet are apart. When you're stepping, what I want to avoid, first of all, is taking too far of a step, so I'm off balance. The second thing I want to avoid is when I'm with my foot that's recovering, I do not want to bring it too close to my feet, because now we're not in an athletic stance anymore. So when you're looking at your feet as you're stepping, make sure that you keep that same distance between your feet as you're stepping front, back, to the right, and to the left. All right, so we've covered how to move in our stance, how to hold a stance, how to punch in our stance. Let's put it all together. Let's make it cumulative. So we're gonna find our stance together. Remember, think about that line, making sure your feet are aligned on that line, making sure that we have our shoulders in the right place again. Let's not make our shoulders square. We wanna show a small picture to our opponent. Hands in the right place next to our head, ready to protect ourselves. And I'm just gonna call out commands. Again, if I call a direction, we're stepping that direction. If it's a 1, it's a jab. If it's a 2, it's a straight. So in your stance, step forward, jab, jab, step back, 2, step back, 2, step to your right, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, step to your left, 1, step to your left, 1, step forward, 1, 2, step back, 2, step forward, 2, step to your right, 1, 2, 1, 2, step to your left, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, step back, step forward, step back, step to your left, step right, step forward, jab, 1, 1, 2, step back, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, step to the right, step to the left, step forward, step back, 1, 1, think about your hands, make sure that they're nice and close to your head, 1, 2, 1, 2, step to your right, 2, step to the left, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Excellent, good work. All right, how about we learn 2 more punches? We're gonna go over our left and right hook. One thing to notice about our hooks is they are short range punches. And what I mean by that is they're punches you would throw at an opponent when they are closer to you as opposed to when they're further away. I'm gonna start with teaching the hooks the same way I taught the 2, starting from our legs and our hips. So, same thing, same concept of turning our hips forward. Okay, the only thing I'm gonna change now is when we recover, we're actually gonna swing our hips in this direction and land on our back foot, like this. Notice what my legs are doing when I swing. Weight on the front foot, swing my hips back, weight on the back foot. Weight on the front foot, weight on the back foot. And take your time with this. If you need to pause the video and really feel this connection happening between your legs and your hips, take your time, it's very important. Front foot, back foot. Front foot, back foot. This is how you're gonna generate power on your hooks. It's very important. So, all we do now is we throw some arms with this. When I shift my weight to my front foot, same as I did with the 2, I'm now just gonna make it a 4 or a rear hook. Okay, one thing I want you to notice is the bend in my elbow. I have a 90-degree bend in my arm, and I'm keeping a good structure as I throw that hook. Now we're gonna recover. We're gonna throw that 4 again. Notice because my weight's already on my front foot, I'm set up to throw my left hook. So as I turn my hips back, I'm gonna launch my left hand. And that's the lead hook. Let's do our rear hook again. Back to the lead. 4, 3, 4, 3. Now again, think about what your hips are doing. You don't want to just be flailing our arms. I don't care how big you are, how big your arms are, you won't be generating power unless you connect your hips to your punches. Again, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, more time, 4, 3. Excellent, well done. So, let's tie it all in together in our boxing stances. If you need a break, take a break, because we're gonna go hard for a few minutes. Hands up in your stance. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Step forward, forward, back, back, right, right, left, left, forward, 2, 2, do a 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, step back, 2, 3, 2, 3, step to your right, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, step to your left, step to your left, step forward, jab, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and don't worry about speed. Take your time with this. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step back. Step back. Step forward. Step forward. 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Step to your right. Step to your right. 2, 3. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Step to your left. Step to your left. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Step forward. Jab. Jab. 1. 1, 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 4, 3, 4. 4, 3, 4. 4, 3, 4. 3, 4, 3. 3, 4, 3. Almost there. Jab. 1. 1. Step forward. 1. Step back. 2, 3. Step back. 2, 3. 2. 2. And time. All right, well done, everyone. Thank you for coming to Boxing Basics 1. Hope you learned something, and have a great day.